Hi everybody, welcome back. I can't believe a week's flown by. It's gone really fast. So you can see that I have cleaned all the Christmas decorations off, and we've got a little Care Bear corner back. So I just thought I'd pop a few of my little ones next to my weight loss chart, and we'll get back to Care Bear corner, as I like to call it. But oh, it's chilly out there today. It is really cold. I've got my slippers on. I've got my cup of tea next to me. I'd like you to join me for this week's little chat and a weight loss. Excited. So yes, I had quite a good loss last week. Thank you for all of your lovely comments on my video. It means the world. I'm just going to move you this way a little bit. So yes, I had a good weight loss last week. I was really pleased with it. Kind of started the new year off with a nice positive kind of start. So yes, that it spurred me on this week, and yes, you seem really high up today. Yes, so I'm really pleased with that, and as I said, it spurred me on. Got a few little things to tell you today, which I'm really pleased. But I'm going to do my weight loss first. Before I start, actually, I want to say a massive thank you to all of the ladies and gentlemen that have ordered these lovely weight loss charts that I have got linked down below. The lady who makes them has messaged me to say that she's had lots of orders, and thank you all loads and loads for doing them. Yes, she sent me a picture of what some of you have had from these charts. Got colour combinations, and they are beautiful. Some of the different colours you've got going on. So yeah, thank you for ordering them, because it means the world that, you know, she's had a few more orders because I was able to show mine off. So if you are new to this channel, there is a link down below where you can order these. So it's just a little chart, and you get hearts and stars to represent your weight loss. So each week I'll either add or take away some of these and show you what I've done. So this week I am pleased to tell you I have lost, bear with me, another £3. So we're at 4 stone and £3 lost this week. I am dead on 19 stone. I would have loved to have got in the 18s, but I am so pleased that I've managed to add a few more little hearts there, and we are rocking and rolling. So yes, I'm so pleased with that. I want to fill this up and get my 5th star. That would be amazing. Really would be amazing. So yeah, I'm so happy. £3. So that's £8 in 2 weeks. But I have been eating clean. I had a slice of cake for the twins' birthday on Monday. But I've been eating completely clean, drinking lots of fluids. So it just goes to show, doesn't it, that making those better decisions does make a difference. The scales. So yeah, I'm going to pop that there. Yeah, it's been a really good week. Really good week. I've got a bit of a croaky voice. So I think I mentioned to you in the last video, I joined up the gym. Alongside my swimming membership. It was only a certain more amount of money to join there, to join the gym, as well as the swimming membership, which gives you full membership. You can use all the classes and everything else. So this week I have been, and I've really enjoyed it. Only a little bit each day, but I think that it's made a difference to my mood, definitely. And knowing that I'm doing a little bit extra to help the weight loss has helped me, you know, help my mind, I think. So this week I'd like to talk about non-scale victories. So I think sometimes we can easily get wrapped up in what the scales say. And I think sometimes we're a bit eager to punish ourselves without talking about our little non-scale victories that don't necessarily show on the scales. So, and I'm guilty of this myself. I am absolutely guilty of this myself. So I can't sit here and say I don't. So for me, my little non-scale victories, there's been lots along the way, but I think the way my clothes fit, the way I've got more energy, I'm less lethargic than I used to be. I used to, you know, sometimes have to nap in the day because I was so tired. My general mood has been much better since I've lost the weight. And, you know, you all know that my mobility is improved. Not massively. I've still got a lot of the pain in my back, but I'm able to do little things for myself, like tie my shoelaces. I can now paint my own toenails. Silly things like I'm able to turn the taps off in the bath now without having to stand up, or, you know, or turn the bath off before I got in. I don't know whether you guys do it, but when I'm in the bath, I like to have a good soak. And sometimes you think, oh, it's getting a bit chilly, but I don't want to get out yet. So I'm able now to turn forward and turn the water on. And I know people out there will laugh and think, oh, shush, you know, it's ridiculous. But that means a massive thing to me. So they might not appear on the scales, but they are massive non-scale victories to you. So I think it's sometimes important to think, when you've not lost any weight on those scales, or the scales have stayed the same, or you've gone backwards, I think it's always mindful to try and remind yourself of these little things that have happened that haven't necessarily shown themselves on the scales. As I've said, I am more able to do things now. I suffer with asthma. So if I get a cold, it does seem to sit a bit longer than everyone else is. But I've noticed I'm less breathless. I'm able to go up the stairs without gasping as much as I used to before. I mean, I've mentioned in other videos, if you look back at my older videos, you can see that I used to struggle between talking. You know, I used to get a bit puffy. You know, so again, these are all little victories that I think we don't quite realise that we've achieved until you actually sit down and think. So I want you to have a think for me today. I want you to sit and think, what little non-scale victories have I managed to achieve since I've been on this weight loss journey? Not necessarily Mounjaro, on your weight loss journey incomplete, whether you're with Slimming World, whether you're doing it on your own, whether you're calorie counting, which non-scale victories have you managed to achieve and how have they changed you? So again, like I said, I am more able to be a little bit more active than I was before. I have definitely grown in confidence. I think you can see that looking at these videos. You know, I've grown in confidence. I smile more. When I used to go out walking, I used to hold my head down. I didn't want to look up. I say morning to people now. I smile. You know, I don't feel like I shouldn't be looked at and I shouldn't be looking up and seeing around me. So yes, my confidence is 100% growing. I mean, it's got a long way to go, but I'm certainly getting there. So I'm able to have a little walk on the treadmill. I feel quite safe on the treadmill because you've got all the the arms and stuff that you can hold on to, so that is quite good for me. I managed a little ride on the bike, things again I wouldn't have dreamed of doing before I'd lost my weight. Progress isn't just measured by the scales. I think you have to remember this as well. And again, I think we're eager to say, oh well, I've not lost any weight this week and I've done so well. I think we're very, very harsh on ourselves that, oh well, it's not moved, I must have done something wrong, and then you beat yourself up and you can ultimately go backwards. How, you know, little things to look at is how your clothes fit in. Do you measure differently? Have your inches gone down? For argument's sake, my wedding ring, it's really loose now. You know I don't really want it to be loose, but I can easily take it on and off. At one point, I'll be honest, I used to have to put soap on my finger to take my wedding ring on and off if I needed to. But now it fits more comfortably, and in fact, when I'm cold, it's quite loose. Do your clothes fit better? Mine certainly do. As you know, there's been a couple of times where I've needed to go through my drawers and have a clear out. I'm trying to think. I feel more emotionally in control as well since I've been on Mounjaro. I don't crave the food like I used to. I don't obsess. You know, I'd go from one meal to the other. You know, I used to, if I've got an empty house like I have now, everyone's at work and school, I would sit and think, oh, I can go and have a bar of chocolate, or I can do this. And, you know, I don't do that anymore. I've lost those bad habits that I used to have. I mean, for argument's sake, me and my son always watch telly together on a Wednesday afternoon if he's off work. And we used to get treats. So it got to a habit where we'd have like a big bag of crisps, we'd have a big chocolate bar. Yes, and that became a habit, but it became normal. Whereas now I don't want that anymore. And if we do have something, we'll have like a slice of like a cake or something. But it doesn't extend to a chocolate bar, crisps, pop. You know, it stops at the one slice of cake, where before I couldn't have done that. So yeah, again, for me, that's a little non-scale victory because I'm not obsessing about everything. Again, I don't eat in private anymore. I don't eat and not tell anybody, you know. I've always been able to be quite honest with my husband, but there's been times where before I met my husband, I've ate in the car, or I've ate in secret and thrown the packet away before I've got home. I suppose a bit like any other addiction, you know, you don't want to tell people you're doing it. But yeah, Mounjaro for me has took that constant thought and want and obsession around food away. Yeah, so I do feel more emotionally in control of my weight and my mind. I feel better. I think non-scale victories are more important than scales. I think sometimes it's easy for us to get, and I know there's been people commenting on my videos that I am talking very diet related at the moment, and one lady or man, I don't know whether it was a man or a lady, had said that a lot of my videos is diet culture. Well, ultimately, I wouldn't like to say they are diet cultured, but I would like to talk about things that we've all gone through, that we're going through, and this is why I would like to think they're watching me, because we've all been there, and I just want to try and spread my feelings and experiences across, so people are not alone, and people can watch my videos and think, actually, I'm like that, or I did that, or oh, that lady relates with me. I don't want anyone to feel like they're alone. So I do apologise if people think that my videos are very diet related. But I didn't think that they were a diet culture video, if that made sense, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, but I do think it is important to look at your non-scale victories rather than the scales. I mean, I like to weigh quite regular because I think for me, it was important to see that I fluctuate from day to day. Again, fat loss isn't always measured on the scales on your scales. If you're losing fat, it might not be, it might not show on the scales. That's what I was trying to say. But it will show in your inches, or it will show, you know, down the line. Hormones and water retention for a lady of my age. I actually spoke to my GP about this, and he said that at our age, it is very normal to carry 2-3 pounds of water, and then it be gone the next day. I don't obviously know the science behind it all, but again, you might have had a gain on the scales and think, oh, well, I've been good all week, I've done this, I've done that, but it might just be your body. It might not be anything that you've done that's made you that way. So I think it's very important that we don't then go off the rails and think that it's you and beat yourself up. That is all I'm trying to say. I think that, yeah, it's very important to think of the things that you are achieving and the things that you have, how your body's got better since you've been on your diet journey, or your not diet journey, your health journey, should I say. I think for me as well, it's helped me to make better choices, and I'm hoping that will carry along, you know, the journey that I'm on. And I'm hoping even when we come to the end, I'll be able to make better choices. I think that once I've cracked that hopefully I will keep it off, and my mindset will never go back to the way it was. I hope that is the way anyway, and I think that's what a lot of us would hope for. Well, I just wanted to speak to you today and just, you know, think, you know, if you are struggling, if your scales have stayed the same, or you're on a plateau, or I don't know, you've you put a bit of weight on, I think it's important to just stop, just ask yourself, but what has got better since I've been on my whichever journey you're on? I don't want to necessarily make it about Mounjaro, but I just think it is very important that you stop and think, well, actually, what has changed for me? And yes, so stop and think. On that note, I would like you to comment down below and give me, if you can, 5 non-scale victories that you've found since you've been taking Mounjaro, or you've been on your diet, or you've had bariatric surgery. Give me 5 little non-scale victories that you've had and that you've found. And think deep. Again, I know I keep saying, but even as small as painting your own toenails. I know it is the silliest thing sometimes, but it's a little victory for you that you've achieved, and I think you're amazing. And I don't think it matters what journey we're going on. We're all in the same position. I have considered bariatric surgery in the past, and I am not saying that I would never have it if I needed it. But I chose not to go on that route at the moment. I mean, I'm hoping I never will need to. And I've tried slimming clubs. They never work for me. But this seems to be, she says, touch wood, seems to be working for me at the moment. And I feel really good. I feel in a really good place. So I just really wanted to reach out to those that are struggling, and those that maybe need a bit of a pep talk or something, or it's not going as quick as it could, or you think other people. I think that's another point as well. It's very important not to base your journey on someone else's, because everyone is so different. I mean, we all lose weight at different rates as well. So easy to think, whoa, Rachel down the road, she's lost 8 pounds this week, and Sarah there, she's lost this. I think it's very important for us not to beat ourselves up. So I am giving you all a massive virtual hug, because I know it isn't easy. And yes, I've been there. And I know we don't always think clearly, but I just think you need to think hard, dig deep, and think about what you have got already, and what is better in your life for losing weight, for being on a better health journey. So anyway, I like this. I've seen somebody else share this on Facebook earlier, and I loved it that much that I'll have to share it with you. I've got it written down. It says, if scales aren't moving but your life is getting better, you're winning. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? So yes, if the scales aren't moving but your life is getting better, you're winning. There you go. That's all I need to say. So I just want to say a massive thank you for all of you guys that come back here week after week. I've got new subscribers as well, so welcome. We are a crazy family, but I couldn't do it without you guys each week. I come and have a little bit of a chat, and I've been sad days, and I've had happy days, and I've had, I don't know, all the rest of it. But I just want to say a massive thank you for each of you that come back each week, that you comment. I love you all massively. You're amazing. I had a lovely lady donate to my Buy Me a Coffee last week. Bless her. I just want to say thank you, darling, for that. That was lovely. I never expect anybody to, but it's always a lovely surprise when my little Buy Me a Coffee comes through on my email, and one of you's treated me, which is lovely. Anyway, that's it for this week. So yes, another £3 this week. I would love to be in the 18s next week. So fingers crossed, everybody. I've got another positive week this week heading up. So fingers crossed. We'll have another smiley video. And don't forget to list them non-scale victories down below. And we can all have a chat about those little non-scale victories and how you're feeling. So yeah, if you're feeling a bit fed up this week, I am sending you a massive hug. Please, please, please keep your chin up. Keep smiling. And I'll see you next week. Love you. Bye.